Chris, I've got a lot of questions about the combine. I just love this time of year. This is, I call it hope season because that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, it's like recruiting in college, but this is the NFL. So, this transition for players to the next level. Let me ask you this. First off, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels are not going to throw or work out at the combine. They've chosen possible pro days. Marvin Harrison Jr. says, hey, I'm not throwing. I'm not going to have an agent. I'm not working out. Public perception, they look at something like that and go, wow, that's not good. From a scouting, front office, inside the building type deal, is that a positive? Is that a negative? Or is it kind of just it's a nothing burger?
It's more the latter. I mean, it was a problem when they first started to do it. Now everybody does it. It's kind of like, remember when I think Christian McCaffrey might have been the first big name to say he's not playing in the bowl game. Remember he wasn't playing in the Sun Bowl? And people, oh my God. Now what's the reaction when people say they're not going to play there? Now they're like, oh, wow, so-and-so's going to play. It's part of what's happened. First of all, let me say this. When we started the Combine back in 1982, there's one reason we did it, and it's still 95% of the reason that we're here. And you will not hear or even see anything about this on TV. It's the medical physicals. That's the only reason why we started the Combine. That's it. Period. Stop. End of discussion. Once we had them there, we said, well, let's maybe put them through a few drills. So all of what's kind of built of that, if players don't work out, I don't like it. I wish they would compete and work out. But if all the players came and all they did was took their medicals and left, it's worth its weight in gold. It is the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, the number 5 most important thing. It's it. I can't stress it more than that. But that's not what people talk about. And because we have workouts, we'd want them to work out. I tell guys all the time, yeah, you can do what you want, but you're not fooling us. So if you know, for example, you want to bulk up and you do your lifting here, but then you're going to lose 15 pounds and then run when you're lighter, well, you didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday. We know that means you're going to run differently, and we have to convert all the time. The agents are telling them, don't do this, don't do that. Now the big thing this year, we were discussing it today, now they don't want to take the intelligence test. And, look, for some reason, somebody has leaked that information and it's got out to the press, which is, to me, abhorrent. I mean, you don't give that information out. So there's a lot of, I won't do this, I won't do that. Look, if you're going to work out at your pro day, I tell guys this, and they ask, look, if you work out here, and you do everything well, you can breathe easy. Everybody in the league has seen you, and you don't need to do anything on your pro day. You don't work out here. You're going to go on your pro day. You better be faster. Your workout better be infinitely better. And you know what? I don't care if you're who you are. You're going to have, maybe a tenth of the people in the league seeing you. Why? Because they're going to be pro days at USC and Michigan and Clemson on the same day. I mean, everybody has to spread out. Every scout, every coach, a couple of them know Mike McCarthy's not going. I don't want to digress. Just about everybody's there, including all the doctors, trainers, owners, what have you. Now, what's happened over the years is some of this is like we've got some coaches, like Mike McCarthy's not gone. He's helping Mike Zimmer put in the new defense. It's becoming, because of this and because they're not working out as much and the interviews are being cut and all that, some people are electing not to come, which tells you, kind of where it's headed. But yeah, look, I want guys to compete and work out. Am I gonna not draft a guy because it didn't work out? No. But I also tell them, if you have a awful pro day, I'm going to go back to the tape. Here's the thing. The workouts don't tell you how good a football player he is. The tape and the 2, 3, 4 years that he's played in college does. The tape helps you to affirm what you see with the workout and vice versa. It's when the tape and the film doesn't match, which is only about 8-10% of the time. That's when you got to go back and say, oh, let me go look at Jake again. Why doesn't the tape and the workout match? And then that helps. So it helps you to understand, and a lot of things are misunderstood. The intelligence test doesn't tell you whether you're intelligent. It just tells you how you learn. So, so like C.J. Stroud, quote unquote, didn't test well. It didn't affect it, but people in the media have come out and said, oh, well, you see it, those tests doesn't matter. It does matter because during the test, you learn how he learns. He's not as much of a reading visual learner. He's much of an auditory learner. Anybody that's been at school knows that every teacher, they do tests like this. Some have to hear it. Some have to see it on the board. Some just like to read it. These tests help you to learn going in what a guy is and what he does and how he best learns. The medical stuff is, so all of those things are important, but it doesn't make or break it. And it can help a guy more than it can hurt him. So I guess if you've got 20 guys that really help themselves and the others don't, well, then maybe you could say that the ones that they didn't hurt themselves, but they didn't help themselves, maybe there's something lost there. I think that's fair, which is why I tell everybody, go work out. Go screw up your workout. Go compete. Doesn't matter. We can have the workout on the campus, and you can do it better. But if you only do it once, man, and you don't run well or you pull a hamstring, there's going to be some questions. And it might make the difference when you're going 9th and 25th. I mean, you just don't know because it's not that you're holding it against a guy, but if you've got more information and more certainty about player A that you are interested in hiring or drafting, well, you're going to be more comfortable than maybe the guy that maybe doesn't do all the things.